Previously on Transformers Ascension.
I think it's happening again.
His heart has stopped. Can you help?
Notify Perceptor to ready Project Transtector.
Your heart was deteriorating rapidly. It was dying.
Allow me to present to you, my lord, your birthright.
I have old scores to settle. Optimus Prime, I'm coming for you.
Looks like the cons found something of interest.
Its origin and purpose are unknown to me, but its presence fills me with unease. A dark energy resides within.
They are rogue elements. Variables that I had not anticipated being brought into the equation.
Wheeljack's knowledge and assistance would be invaluable.
We make him an offer he can't refuse.
Which of you is Wheeljack?
You plan to pass on the Matrix then?
Indeed.
I knew pretty much every detail of the Decepticons' plan, and about the small print of your deal.
I shall recover the fragment myself. The rest of you may do as you please. I yield.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Command of the Decepticons in your absence. Where are your contingencies, Lord Megatron?
Truth be told, we did not expect Black Shadow to succeed in his suicide mission.
His accomplishment is remarkable. My projections indicated the probability of his failure to be 97.83%.
Then we are fortunate your projections were incorrect, Shockwave. And gratitude is owed to Black Shadow for succeeding in spite of your lack of faith. He has proven himself a true Decepticon.
Your efforts are appreciated, Black Shadow.
Yes, you have our thanks.
I still have business to attend to here, Soundwave. An artifact that will prove useful to our cause. In the meantime, spread the word to my Decepticons. Megatron has returned.
All hail, Lord Megatron!
So this is the Autobot you told us so much about. Well, here is your audience.
Took you long enough. I thought I'd seen the last of the brig.
A little more respect would be advisable for when addressing my lieutenant.
We have considered your request to join the Decepticon ranks. The footage transmitted from Laserbeak before his termination confirms you are who you say you are, and the Decepticons all vouch for you. Killing an Autobot as infamous as Bumblebee is a notable achievement.
Well, fame doesn't make you invincible. Does that mean I'm in?
Once you have taken the right of the Decepticon.
Anybody want to say a few words?
As many of you are aware, I did not always see eye to eye with our fallen brothers. However, that does not mean that their efforts went unacknowledged. All were resolute in their pledge to the Autobot cause. All were anticipative of a bright future for Cybertron and its people. All had lives that never saw their full potential, brutally cut short by those who desired to demoralize and destroy us. These past few days have been difficult for us, but we still stand. We will repair, we will rebuild, and in time, we will take the fight to the Decepticons and end Megatron's tyranny, once and for all.
Your quarrel is with me and me alone, Megatron. Indeed.
I have to get Perceptor here as quickly as possible. We can patch you up better than ever.
No. Wait.
Mind if I join you?
Teletron 1, extend the atmosphere bubble.
This is very weird. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of weirdness, this is about a 7.
Would you like me to explain the science, or do you want to just go with magic?
Magic sounds nice. I'll go with magic. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
How come you aren't at the funeral?
I hate funerals. Also, I'm not sure the Autobots would be comfortable with my presence, especially Prowl.
What about the Matrix of Leadership?
In the vault, where it's safe.
You don't have it? But you're their leader now!
I'm not their leader.
Optimus chose you! He passed the Matrix of Leadership on to you!
Chose me? Grace, Optimus only chose me because his other candidates were dead, and I was the only one at his bedside when he kicked the bucket too. He made a mistake. Because he made a mistake building me this body.
How can you say that? Optimus wanted to make sure you could live the life you want. Regardless of what this body was built to do, you should still be grateful for the lengths he would go to in order for us to be happy.
If he cared so much about our happiness, he would not have given me the Matrix in the first place. This is neither my war nor my responsibility. I want to live a normal life, away from the turmoil and death and ruin that conflict always brings, no matter which dimension you come from.
And you think that shirking that responsibility will get you any closer?
I don't want this!
Nor do I!
Then why are you doing this?
Because this is our war now, Treadshot, whether you like it or not!
But there has to be someone else!
That's irrelevant! And even if it was relevant, the Decepticons won't wait for you to find them! Your home can't wait! What good is your life as a human on a dead world? Don't insult Optimus's memory by being so goddamn selfish! And get some perspective!
I just want us to be happy, Grace. That's all I want.
Right now, we aren't important. We might not have started this war, but we are part of it now. And if human life really has any value to you, then you need to fight for it. I've seen you in action, Tread. I know Optimus didn't put you in charge because it was convenient. You know it too.
What's wrong, Jackie? You afraid of a little faction symbol?
Repeat after me. I pledge my unquestioning loyalty to Megatron and the Decepticon cause.
I pledge my unquestioning loyalty to Megatron and the Decepticon cause.
I shall devote my spark to achieving our goal of a Decepticon-controlled Cybertron by any means necessary.
I shall devote my spark to achieving our goal of a Decepticon-controlled Cybertron by any means necessary.
And annihilate all who have driven us from our rightful homeworld.
And annihilate all who have driven us from our rightful homeworld.
Surrender is not an option.
Surrender is not an option.
I'm so sorry, Preceptor. I shouldn't have trespassed.
Oh, it's no trouble, my dear. Your reasons for coming are evident.
You said Wheeljack did a lot of damage.
Not just to the infirmary itself, but the information on the Pretender technology stored on Teletran 1's databank. And my blasted leg, though that at least is fixable. Everything we know about Treadshot, the Pretender shells, the parallel universe, gone. Incredible, unique information, deleted in an instant.
I suppose it goes without saying that puts us back a lot.
True, true. And we barely made any progress as it is. All we can do is keep the poor fellow in cryosleep until we find a resolution to our predicament.
Preceptor, I've had this question on my mind for a while now. Does your species do relationships?
We do. What you may call a significant other, we call a conjunx endurer, though it is relatively rare, and many think that associations such as those are embarrassing. I think it is risky, but I have a lot of respect for those who enter that sort of bond. I had a conjunx before the war, back in my academy days. It takes a great deal of courage and character to open yourself up in that way, to make yourself truly vulnerable. You have to emphatically trust somebody in order to do that, and to have that trust disregarded. Well, I shall desist my inane rambling and summarize thusly. Partnerships with another living being are never going to be easy, but with the right person, it is completely worth it. And for the rest of us, who are we to judge?
Treadshot. About time I ran into you. Pretty sure you've been avoiding everyone except your girlfriend.
Hoist.
Hey, not this time, lad. Time we had a chat. Hop on. You can give us a hand with the repairs. I take it you're previously acquainted with Omega here? Project Omega was commissioned in response to the Stentarian invasion 7 million years ago. Nasty bunch. Zeta Prime ordered Grapple and I to oversee the construction of 12 Omega Sentinels. We sent the Stentarians packing, but Omega here was the only one of his brothers and sisters to survive. Grapple's very protective when it comes to sending Omega into battle. He doesn't like seeing them get hurt. The Autobots look at him and see a Titan who can stride a battlefield in a few steps and lay waste to an army. But to us, it's more than that. Nonetheless, the war needs him. We can't let our feelings get in the way of duty.
How's he doing?
Still in a critical condition. Best case scenario is Meg's has put him out of action for several weeks. Prowl wants to take a look inside his noggin for any audiovisual data of the fight of the Arctic. But he's had to go into complete stasis lock while we work our magic. Now then, what's rusting up your axles?
Everything! This responsibility. The animosity I'm pretty sure everyone feels towards me. The fact that my life is being pulled further and further away from my reach. And, of course, Optimus.
You want to hear my theory?
Well, I
don't care, you're getting it anyway. You wouldn't be avoiding everybody unless you felt a degree of responsibility for Optimus's death.
Well, yes. I wanted to help him. He was walking into a no-win scenario. And in my attempt to aid him, I did more harm than good.
Do you know what the challenge of Aria Bellum is?
The impression I got was single combat.
By definition, the challenge of Aria Bellum is single combat between two Cybertronians on even terms. The last time I checked, Megatron couldn't just brush off being ground-pounded by Omega Supreme with barely a scratch. Grapple and I built him. We know what sort of punishment he can dish out.
Megatron broke the Code of Honor.
Well, he obliterated the Code of Honor entirely, but what I'm also saying is Optimus was never leaving that battle alive. He was determined to end Megatron there and then. He wasn't going to yield.
Is that meant to make me feel better?
It's meant to make you understand your spark was in the right place.
So what do I do now?
Do what your spark tells you.
Lord Megatron, before I rise, I wish to choose a new name for myself.
Most prudent. What name have you chosen?
Slicer.
Welcome to the Decepticons, Slicer.
Lord Megatron, we found something near the boarding pod hangar you should see.
Toxitron. It's a clean kill. One shot, straight through the brain module.
Security footage indicates the last person he was with was Deadlock. They walked off together, and when the assault began, Deadlock had taken his place on the Shard retrieval team. He didn't return from the Ark, my lord.
I was on the retrieval team, my lord. Deadlock ordered us to do as we pleased while he searched for the fragment alone.
That honorless scoundrel. His actions may have cost us that shard.
I suspect that was his intention.